Tonight marks the 10th anniversary of one of the darkest chapters in Solace City's history, the reign of terror by the man now infamously remembered as the Deadside Killer. As we reflect on these events, it's crucial to understand both the magnitude of the loss and the shadow that still lingers over our city.
For those unfamiliar with the events that forever changed our city, allow us to revisit the tragedy that began 11 years ago. At that time, Solace City was a thriving metropolis, larger, brighter, and full of promise. Until, in an instant, everything changed with a single catastrophic event.
A meteor struck the eastern sector, now grimly known as the Deadside, flattening entire neighborhoods and claiming tens of thousands of lives in a matter of minutes. Of all those caught in the blast zone, only one person was confirmed to have survived: Midas Kent.
Once an ambitious tech entrepreneur, Kent would go on to become the most notorious serial killer Solace City has ever seen. His motives remain clouded in mystery, but for years, whispers have circulated rumors that the government had the means to intercept the meteor, but chose not to act for reasons still debated.
Allegations suggest the intervention was deliberately stalled, supposedly under pressure from powerful elites who feared the political and financial costs of evacuation. While the truth may never be fully known, there is troubling evidence that lends weight to these claims and continues to haunt public discourse.
What is undeniable is what came after. In a twisted crusade, Kentno, calling himself the Deadside Killer, began targeting public figures, politicians, corporate executives, and high-ranking officials. 11 victims in total, each killed with chilling precision, some in broad daylight, others in the silence of their homes.
The city was paralyzed with fear, and for months, law enforcement seemed helpless to stop the killings until an unlikely figure stepped forward. A young investigative journalist named Miguel Lee, whose personal loss would set him on a path intertwined with the city's darkest secrets.
At the time, Miguel Lee was virtually unknown, but when his sister's death was ruled an accident despite clear signs of foul play, he refused to accept the official story. Without resources or support, he began his own investigation, driven by both grief and a relentless determination to uncover the truth.
His search led him to SLAP, industry short for Strategic Logistics for Advanced Prototypes, a military tech contractor rumored to be developing classified weaponry. One of their designs, in fact, matched the signature weapon used in the killings, providing Miguel with a critical lead.
Miguel believed he was simply following a lead, piecing together evidence that pointed to SLAP's involvement. He had no idea that the man behind the murders was none other than SLAP's founder and CEO Midas Kent himself. The man he'd gone to for answers was, in reality, the very monster he was hunting.
By the time Miguel pieced it all together, it was almost too late. Kent had claimed one final life, Miguel's own sister, Amaya Lee. Her death would not only shock the city, but also mark the tragic end of Kent's rampage, leaving the community reeling from the revelations.
But it would also ignite Miguel's final act of courage. In a confrontation that has since become legend, Miguel confronted Kent, facing the man responsible for his pain and ended his life before he could take another. This act brought closure to some, but questions and scars remain.
Today, we remember the victims not just of the killer, but of a tragedy that many believe could have been prevented. We remember a city forever changed, and the lives that were unjustly taken, hoping that by honoring their memory, we might find some measure of peace and unity moving forward.
If you know someone who was affected by the Deadside tragedy, or if you simply want to honor the memory of those lost, please consider visiting the memorial and leaving a flower. These small acts of remembrance help us heal as a community and affirm our collective resolve.
And especially remember the name Amaya Lee. You did not deserve what happened to you. Let her story and the stories of all the victims remind us why vigilance, accountability, and compassion are so vital in the face of tragedy.
That concludes tonight's SCN Special Report. From all of us here at Solace City News, good night and please, take care of one another as we continue to heal, remember, and rebuild together.